Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of the Sanibel Captiva Guide. If you're anything like us, or if you've been to this area at all, you know that one of the big parts of this community, not just on Sanibel, but around Fort Myers Beach particularly, is the shrimp boats. And we're very fortunate to have Blaine Green join us today, who is a shrimp boat captain of 50 years, I believe. And always been fascinated by them. There's a big industry here. So welcome, Blaine. Thanks very much for joining us. And hopefully you can enlighten us a little bit about the ins and outs of
so fascinated
shrimp fishing. So tell me a little bit about how you got started.
My family has been in the fishing business, in the shrimp business, since it started. Although my father was a shrimper, I never did shrimp with him because I wasn't old enough when he quit.
Gotcha. And that was in this area? Were you born and raised in Fort Myers?
I'm third generation.
Oh, wow.
Fort Myers, yes.
Okay.
Third generation, unheard of.
Yeah.
Unheard of. Unheard of to get somebody. It's very rare to get somebody born here, let alone third generation.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've always been in the fishing business, so whether it was shrimping, stone crabbing, charter fishing, we've done it all.
Really?
And still do.
Really?
Right.
Yep.
So Blaine and I met working on. I was doing some
drone photography.
Some drone photography for the Kelly brothers, who are a local construction company. They do. They built the bridge. Actually, they helped build the bridge. They were the contractors for the bridge.
I worked on that project.
You worked on that project, really?
What was your role?
I was a crane operator.
Okay.
Crane operator. So
many talents. So
many
hold
talents.
on. You're fishing, crane. What else you got in your bag?
Hold on. So we met working on the barge there. Right. And then, so you were telling me, as I was up in the bridge with you, I was taking pictures of the barge and how they were dredging and everything.
The bridge of the boat, not the bridge.
The bridge of the boat, yeah. You were saying about how you were taking a break from shrimp fishing. So that's been a hand-in-hand thing. You've been run boats for other outside of the shrimp industry during your career?
Yeah, I've run charter boats. I've run I stone crab for a period, about 8 years, when I did take a little break from shrimping. But I've always shrimped since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I started first 2 summers when I was in high school, and then I came back, finished high school, and when I was 18 years old, I bought a shrimp boat.
Oh, wow.
With my father. Him and I bought a boat together. We did that for a good while.
Back in the day, how much did that cost? Do you remember how much you paid for that?
Actually, the boat was about $200,000.
Oh, wow.
In 1977. So that was a big...
Jeez.
That's a huge amount of money.
Just in case if you don't know what a shrimp boat looks like, you could check it out on the TV show, which is called what?
Pink Gold Rush.
Pink Gold Rush. There's a show which apparently a lot of the people, the cast on that show.
Yes, I do.
They're a lot of your friends. But just hold up a picture of a shrimp boat so that people can see what they look like. This is the one Blaine is currently a captain of. And
what's its name?
We put a ton of effort into bringing you quality content. So if you would like to help us share our love of the islands, here are several easy ways. Firstly, you can support us on Patreon. You could purchase an island souvenir from our Etsy store. You can metaphorically buy us a coffee, which is an easy way to donate a couple of bucks.
Don't you prefer tea?
Well, I do, kind of. Also, like and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with all things Sanibel and Captiva. And finally, show some love to our sponsors. Let them know we sent you. All the links are in the description below.
What's its name?
This is the Queen Anne's Revenge.
Queen Anne's Revenge. So
and Blaine said it was named after, I guess, from Pirates of the Caribbean, right? From Johnny Depp.
That was a pirate ship.
So we were on Monroe Channel up on Pine Island last week, and they have just the shrimp boats go from small bay boats that are only 20 to 30, 25, 30 feet, wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. That run in the back bays for catching bait shrimp, I understand. If I understand correctly, you're on the big boy boats which go offshore, and yours is how long?
This is a 68-foot boat, which is kind of small for a Gulf boat. They go up to 105 foot.
And what's the smallest that will go out there?
This is a small boat that I'm on now.
Is it
68 foot? Yeah, they they haven't built any new boats in a good long time.
Is that because the shipping industry is going down, or what's the reason for not building new boats?
It is going down. In 2003, they put a moratorium on the licenses. They haven't sold any new licenses. At that time, there was 6,000 boats licensed in the Gulf. Now it's more closer to 600 boats.
Wow.
Actively shrimping.
Wow.
And for the reason that it's hard, it's expensive, you don't make money.
It's a hard struggle. It's a hard way of life, and it's not profitable. Of course, we compete with imports, which are killing us.
Right.
You know, cheap labor, cheap quality. They're just horrible shrimp.
Right.
And you can tell. So if you do come here, make sure what you're buying is local Gulf shrimp. We didn't understand the difference. You can actually visually tell. Can you explain what a local shrimp looks like compared with one from Thailand?
Oh yeah, we have the best shrimp in the world here locally.
Yeah.
Sanibel, Marco, and Dry Tortugas, where we fish off Key West, have the pink shrimp.
Yeah.
People don't realize there's several species of shrimp. What we catch, you only catch at nighttime.
Really?
When the sun comes up, they bury in the sand.
Huh.
So that's why you see these shrimp boats anchored in the daytime.
So I didn't know there was. I did know that, but I didn't know there was shrimp that actually are out during the day. There are some species that are out during the day.
There is. If you get up in the panhandle of Florida to the west, Louisiana, Texas, that area, you catch brown shrimp, you catch white shrimp, which you can catch those in the daytime or nighttime, either one.
Okay.
The pink shrimp that we catch only at nighttime.
Wow. So that's when during the summer, you're late. So sun doesn't set till when, 8:39?
Yeah, this time of year we don't have much time. We got very short nights.
Window, right.
Yep. And if you're not on the shrimp when you put your nets out, you don't have much time to catch them.
Right.
So what is the method for catching? Is it a large net dragging behind?
We typically drag 4 nets. This boat that I'm on now has 4 40-foot nets, meaning that the opening of the net is 40 foot for each net.
Okay. And then if you look at we'll put up a picture now, but if you look at the boom arms, they come out to the side.
That's right.
And that's spreaders. What are they called?
Outriggers.
And
that's where your fishing gear goes. That keeps them separated while they're on the bottom.
And for those that don't know, it's a long, thin net that basically just skims along the bottom of the surface. Is that right?
They're funnel shaped with a tail bag on the tail end of them collecting all the shrimp. They're evolving like everything else. We need to be fuel efficient because fuel's our number one killer. So nowadays we're getting different types of webbing, synthetic webbing, Kevlar, different types of plastic, no knots in it.
Oh, just to stop the drag.
It's easier to drag through the water like a shark skin. So it's easier for us to pull. We burn less fuel.
Right. Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And another thing that helped us out was the what's called a TED. It's a turtle excluder device. 100% kicks all your turtles out of your net.
Really?
I haven't caught a turtle in so long I can't remember.
And
really?
I think you have to put that legally. Do you have to put that TED on your?
They are mandatory.
That's what I thought.
How does that work?
Like a big sluice gate, doesn't it? Go ahead. How does it work? So.
Yeah, it has a grid set on a 45-degree angle, and when the turtle comes through the net, he hits the grid and it kicks him right on out.
But then the shrimp just go straight past it into the net.
The shrimp go through the grid.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Another device we have in there is a finfish excluder. It's also a small funnel that's in the net backwards. Water pressure goes into it, but a fish can swim out of it. So
really?
There's not a lot of, if you think about it, there's not a lot of water pressure inside the net. Fish can
They can actually swim against it?
They can swim freely. Back
Really?
and forth, yeah.
So how fast are you dragging when you're...
Optimum speed is 2.8.
Really?
Oh, wow.
That's
That's
really
the science. 2.8.
2.8 knots. That's your speed.
That's it.
Right.
Yep. You don't want to go slower. You'll catch more bottom trash, and you don't want to go too fast because you don't want to lift your nets off the bottom.
Huh. And then how far will you go in one drag? How far?
We cover 30 miles a night normally. Now, that's not 30 miles in a straight line because we pull a small net every hour and it tells us what's going into the big nets.
Gotcha.
So if we have a good catch in the small net, we'll turn around and go right back on it.
Right.
It's like a tester net?
Yes, we call it a tri-net.
Okay.
We have all the modern electronics. We're actually got 2 computers running with navigation system in them, and we can make a track line everywhere we go if we want.
So you can basically do a grid and cover a whole area?
You can do a grid. You can put all your bottom obstructions on it. You can put you can do all kind of detail on it. You can put all your edges, types of bottoms.
Wow. And then back in the day when you were 16, 18, different.
It was a
you were just blind.
Yeah, it was a compass and a clock.
Right. That was it.
So I'm sure you used to damage a lot more nets back then. I mean, so you have all the obstructions under. I'm guessing you're looking for flat, sandy bottom.
We are, and this bottom off Fort Myers typically runs. It's high sand ridges. They could be a 1/4 mile wide. They could be a mile wide, but they typically run northeast and southwest. And we drag on top of them. And your bottom fishermen, grouper fish and snapper fish and such, they drag off of them, just off the edge.
So they're looking for the lower parts. You're looking for the higher parts.
Right.
Okay.
And if you looked at our computer, you would see it. We have it all connected now. We have a jump drive or a memory stick.
Yeah.
And I trade with my buddy. He gives me his.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sharing info.
Only the good buddies.
Oh, yeah, that's
good. but I have bottom in my computer that I can look at. I know it from the Carolinas all the way to Brownsville.
Which is incredible. They've just started a new technology, which is the side sonar that they've just started mapping on the East Coast. You can actually have a detailed chart of the under structure, like for diving and fishing, spearfishing. But as of about 6 months ago, I think they'd only mapped about 100 miles of coast on the other side. You guys have been doing that for years.
Yeah,
so you've had that.
I can go anywhere in the Gulf of Mexico and put my nets on the bottom and feel comfortable that I know where all the obstructions are and where all the shrimp bottom is.
So do you you're obviously snagging up on things is probably part of the business, is it?
It is. One thing you got to remember is these boats that sink and stuff don't last too long. The heavy part of them will sink and go below the sand, and the part that's will rot away. The wood and such.
Right. So like on a typical drag, how many pounds of shrimp, I guess, do you catch in a?
We're trying to maintain a 1,500 pounds to 2,000 pounds per night.
Per night.
Wow.
Per night, every night.
Wow, so a ton of shrimp.
And how long will you go out for in a given?
Well, this little boat that I'm on, I call it a little boat. It's 70 foot, but it's a small boat to me. It will only hold about 18 days worth of fuel. Now, most of the boats you see at Fort Myers Beach will hold more, and they stay 30 days.
Wow.
A 40-day trip is not uncommon. Uncommon. The difference in the shrimping now, we used to put preservative on shrimp and head them and put them on ice. Ice got so expensive that we quit doing that about 25 years ago. But now we don't put anything on them.
Really?
They get salt water, and when they hit the deck, they get sorted, sized, and bagged up, and frozen within an hour.
So it's a flash freezing process.
It's a flash freezing.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
what we do, we have a big tank on the back of the boat. You might see those tanks. We put 2,000 pounds of salt in the salt water already.
Really?
And we can bring the temperature of that water down to minus 10 degrees.
And that's just by adding the salt in the salt water.
It brings the salinity up. It stays a liquid that way.
So it stays liquid. It's not actually frozen. It's a frozen. The fish are frozen. The shrimp are frozen, but it's still a liquid.
Water's not frozen.
Yeah.
It's liquid at minus 10.
Wow.
And we flash freeze them, and then we store them below deck. All the underneath of that boat is cold storage.
Right.
Really?
So what happens is, we used to bring shrimp in that were 18 to 20 days old. They had preservative on.
That's so funny. Just to, don't interrupt, but everybody talks about the good old days before they froze fish. You could be getting fish that are 20 days old, like you said.
20 days when they hit the dock, they don't have any shelf life left.
Right.
Now you're getting a shrimp that was frozen within an hour.
Right. So
and you thaw them out,
and they're fresh as fresh can be.
Right.
Yeah, and just something we learned. So the way to tell that you're getting a proper Florida shrimp is there's no black lines in there. They're purely pink.
What that black is bacteria.
Really?
It starts growing under the shell. If you see the side of the shrimp, a little black line,
Yeah.
that's bacteria.
I didn't know that.
It won't grow at -10, but
Right.
when that shrimp starts to thaw out, then it'll show up, and
Right.
it'll just get worse.
So the black stripes on the Indonesian shrimp, is that not a species thing?
They do have a tiger shrimp.
Tiger shrimp. Okay, but that's not local, correct? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, what incredible. So what's the benefits to having a smaller boat and a bigger boat, or is there only really a benefit for a bigger boat?
Well, no, a bigger boat is you have more capacity. Your profit is very thin. So if you can stay out 40 days and get a little bit of profit for 40 days,
It's better. Okay.
it's better.
So your cost is, because a lot of the times you guys are not that far offshore, are you? You could potentially come in and go back out, could you?
Well, in the springtime we have shrimp that come in and row. They're full of eggs, and they'll dump their eggs, and they'll come right up on the beach and do that.
Really?
We're limited to 5 miles. We're not allowed to drag our nets inside of 5 miles of the shore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you see us inside of 5 miles, we're not shrimping.
Right.
Okay.
You're just either coming in or out or doing
Correct.
something.
And so you said your range goes, you're going all the way down to the Tortugas, which is a state park off of Key West. And then probably, what's that, probably about 100 miles away, 150 miles?
It's about we start shrimping actually about 80 miles from Fort Myers, south of Fort Myers.
Okay.
And then we go out to 125. Now we catch shrimp all the way out to 300 foot of water. You know, from 20 feet of water out to 300, depending on, they're like everything else. They go for the temperature.
Right.
Okay.
So how far north do you go?
Well, we shrimp the whole Gulf Coast.
So you'll go all the way up to the Panhandle and... Oh, so you'll head out on a regular trip. You could head up to the Panhandle?
Yeah, this time of year, normally we stay in the Tortugas area.
Okay.
And that's because the temperature of the water. Is that right?
Temperature of the water, and I'm serious about this. There's not enough boats in the Gulf of Mexico to even put a dent in the shrimp anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, we went from 6,000 boats down to 600.
600.
Yeah,
So
in the whole Gulf.
if anybody
Right.
out there wants to get into shrimping, should they contact you, Blaine?
I would love to have a crew.
You would? Okay.
Crews are hard to come by. There's no really new blood getting into the shrimp business.
Yeah.
So we're having labor problems as well.
Really?
How many people are on your boat?
Three persons is normal.
3 people on a 68-foot boat?
Yeah, or
Wow,
even,
that doesn't seem
or
like a
even
lot.
100-foot boat. 3 people.
So what would that consist of? A skipper?
Yeah, a skipper, and then it used to be called a rig man and a header, but we don't head shrimp anymore. So it's just a full share crew member.
So they're deckhands?
Deckhands, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess you're sleeping during the day and fishing at night?
Yeah, a normal day for us is to get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, get our nets ready. We have a lot of shark bites that we have to address.
They'll try and bite through the nets?
What happens is the little minnows get stuck in the webbing, and the shark will just come and bite that. Well, he'll get a mouthful of webbing at the same time.
So
you
you're
have to fix
repairing
those.
that?
We're repairing those every day.
Right. And how? You're stitching it back
Yeah,
up? Or?
yeah, by hand.
Right.
We're going to show you a picture of the sharks. We'll show you a video of the sharks.
Blaine, before we went on air, Blaine showed us a video of the shark population.
So if we can transfer it from his phone, we'll put it in this podcast. But absolutely incredible as they're dredging this.
Yeah,
the sharks are just incredible. The sharks. What else was it? Dolphin or
Dolphins.
porpoise? And
They're all intermingled together.
and what was the other thing you said? Cobia.
Bonita?
Bonita.
Bonita, and they're all basically feeding off the
Flying fish.
that the lights are bringing up from the boat.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely incredible sight. You wouldn't
Okay,
believe
so
it.
you're up at 3. This sounds like a good schedule for you, Max.
We got
Don't you think?
We got a little sidetrack, but we get up at 3 or 4. We get our nets ready. We cook dinner, and then when the sun goes down, we go to work.
Do you eat shrimp?
We do. I will.
Really?
I will go back and get a handful right out of the nets and boil them.
Really?
Really?
I love shrimp.
Oh
Still.
my gosh.
Yeah, that's unusual because there's a lot of fishing guides won't eat fish anymore.
Yeah, I
don't they?
love shrimp.
You love
that's
it. Do you?
awesome.
So it's, what is your recipe? Just
You
boil.
must have every recipe in the book.
Yeah, like Forrest Gump. We got them all.
Do you boil? How long do you boil? I need to know. What's your technique?
I do not put water in shrimp. I'll put them in a saucepan with a lid on it and cook them till they're turned opaque white, and they're done.
And that's it.
Yep. No sense pouring the flavor off with the water. Leave
Gotcha.
it in there.
So just put them in there
Just
in
like
a pan.
just like cooking popcorn.
What? Even leave them in the shell still?
Leave them in the shell.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't eat the shells, do you?
No.
I've heard of people that do that.
Yeah.
Do you put any seasoning, or you just
Not normally. If I'm in a hurry for a snack, I'll just grab them and go.
really?
Hey, they're still kicking. They're screaming when they go in the pot.
That's the fresh of the fresh of the
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But and then no, we process those shrimp 2 times a night, about 6 hour drag. And here's how we can do that. We used to have a lot of bycatch. We've gotten rid of that.
Bycatch meaning catching things
Catching
other
things you
than
can
shrimp.
Yeah, sponge, crabs, smaller fish, minnows. But with these devices we have in our nets now, we're catching almost 100% shrimp.
No way. Well, it must
Which-
save a ton of time.
It does, because now we take the bycatch out of the shrimp as opposed to taking the shrimp out of the bycatch.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Right,
Oh,
right,
wow.
right.
And so also it's more fuel efficient for us to drag shrimp around and not all this other stuff.
Right.
Right.
You know, so we're saving money on fuel that way. Now we have observers that go out from National Marine Fisheries Service. They have observers that go on our boats randomly.
Right.
There's 3 or 4 of them, and they go on one boat one trip and another boat the next trip.
Just to make sure you're
They-
following the rules, I guess,
they
and
do.
making sure.
They do, and they measure how many shrimp. They weigh them, and they weigh the bycatch to keep an accurate account of what we're catching.
Gotcha.
So
What's the
Is there a slot for shrimp? Is there a too big that you can't keep, or
no. Shrimp are going to get about what we call a U9. That's 9 per pound, which is a big shrimp. And then they die of old age after that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How long do they live for?
I might need to
I-
update my trivia questions?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% accurate on this, but I think they're about a 18-month life cycle.
Okay.
No
Oh,
more.
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, so they'll grow that big in 18 months.
Yeah, they're hatched offshore in deep water. They come into the estuaries and grow up, and then they move back offshore to finish their life cycle back
Oh,
offshore.
they come back in the estuaries.
Wow, but that's a pretty short life.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
to end up on somebody's dinner plate.
Well, everything wants to
Yeah.
eat. Everything wants to eat shrimp. So if they make a full life cycle, they're really lucky.
Gotcha. Oh, right.
Yeah,
All the other predators out there that want to
I'm gonna
snack.
try. I'm gonna try to get all of them I can.
So the back bait. So that's typically why the bait guys are just doing the back baits. They're smaller shrimp. They're just a lot smaller in size.
Yeah, those were larvae offshore.
Oh, okay.
And then they drifted inshore to the estuaries where they grow up,
Right.
big enough to survive. And that's another thing. We're like farmers. The amount of shrimp that's produced every year depends on your rainfall. Depends on your salinity of the water. If the salinity's right, if it's perfect, you get a big crop of shrimp.
Right.
If you get too much rain and the water's fresh, they won't survive.
Really?
If you don't get enough rain, then they won't survive because the water's too salty.
Wow. How
Really?
did the red tide affect you from?
Red tide luckily doesn't affect shrimp that
Oh,
much
I didn't know that.
because they stay on the bottom
Gotcha.
and the red tide's on the surface.
Right.
So it doesn't get in their gills, and cause them problems.
Oh.
What's the biggest? Is there anything that can affect the crop more than anything else? Is there? I mean, obviously the salinity, but is there any natural?
Well, we went for years not having any shrimp off Naples, Marco area. And personally, I believe that's from fertilizers,
Really? Yeah.
from runoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard one time we had 75 golf courses there.
Really?
in the
Which
in the
they're
county.
fertilizing.
Yep.
Up the wazoo.
And of course, everybody wants a beautiful lawn.
Right.
So-
But
Is
for
it?
the
But are they
price.
back now?
We did have some shrimp this year.
Really?
Yeah, so you can't never tell what Mother Nature's gonna put out there for you. Mm-hmm. But again, it's back to that 600 boats.
Yeah.
No, Mother Nature don't know how many boats are out there.
That's
Right.
true.
So she puts the shrimp out there. They're a little bit easier for us to catch now.
Right.
Can you see the fish on the bottom electronically or not?
We can. If it,
Are they
if-
fish? Do you call them fish?
Fish?
What?
Shrimp.
You
Do you
mean
call it
shrimp?
shrimp?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see the
Same-
shrimp?
Yeah. We can pick them up on our bottom machine.
You can.
Yeah, if they're thick enough. I mean, just random here and there. No. But if we get in a big school, see, shrimp are also like minnows. There's a school of them. You go through them with your net. Well, they disperse. You catch about 10% of them.
Right.
Then they go right back together.
Gotcha.
Oh, I
then
didn't
you
know
come
that.
back again.
And you come back again and get some
Get
more of them.
more. Keep
Yeah.
going.
So you're not really looking. You're not using the electronics to find them. You're just using guesstimates of where you think they might be, or
Well, it's like going on a hunting trip. You're not going to get them every time.
Right.
right.
But you got a good idea where they're going to be because you know where you caught them before, you know where other people catch them, you know the temperature of the water. There's some sand ridges that they like to feed on because they're bottom feeders. So a lot of times you can catch them right on the edge of that sand ridge.
So you got a pretty good idea where
Yeah,
to start.
Yeah, you learn how to predict where they're going to be.
Right. Especially after doing it for
Yeah,
50 years or
yeah,
how long
yeah.
you've been doing it. You
Yeah,
must have just
yeah.
be
But-
ingrained in you.
But if the average Joe went out and put a net in the water, he's not going to come up with any shrimp.
No, I'm sure.
No.
Don't try.
How if your trips are 18 days? How often are you going out?
Like,
We normally stay at the dock a week, or depending on the moon. Now that's another factor too, is the full moon.
is that a good thing or a bad thing, the full moon?
It's a bad thing for the shrimp because they don't know if it's daylight or if it's a moon,
Gotcha.
so they will bury in the sand.
Oh, I see.
There's a period right around the full moon where we can't hardly catch a shrimp.
So
Oh,
you don't
really?
even bother going?
Well, if we're out, we just suffer through it.
Right.
But if we're planning a new trip, we don't go until the.
Gotcha.
So what's the typical cycle? You're out for 18 days. How long are you back for?
She said,
You
you
said
said
a
a
week.
week.
Oh, a week.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we got some repairs, and then it takes a couple of days to get ready to go. You got to get fuel, salt.
So are you working at that time, or do you have people loading the boat up for you?
No,
while
we
you-
do. We do our own.
Oh, wow.
So you're
This is a
working
hard
even when
life.
you're back.
Yeah.
So, and then
Sheesh.
so the shrimp you bring back, what do you sell it on to?
There's two buyers in Fort Myers Beach, Erickson and Jensen, and Trico Shrimp. I sell to both of them.
Right.
Sorry, there was two or three. You said Erickson and
Yeah, there's just
Erickson
two.
and Jensen is the
oh,
first one.
Erickson and Jensen is
Yeah,
And
and,
Trico.
and right now I'm going to say about 40 boats working out of Fort Myers Beach. At one time there was 200 boats there.
really.
Yeah.
Where are the other like shrimp boat hotspots?
To unload our shrimp, to process them.
Yeah, like
Tam-
Fort
Or home ports.
Tampa. Yeah, home ports.
Tampa, and just very few boats left in Stock Island.
Oh, down on
Where's
Key West.
Is that Keys?
Yeah,
Well, there's the last island right before Key West itself.
right.
Yeah.
There's a few.
That's all gone fancy down there now, isn't it?
Exactly. The real that's going to happen everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you predict that for Fort Myers Beach?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, developers will get what they want. They want that waterfront property
Right.
to build on, and they're going to get it.
And I think
Yeah.
right now a lot of that is owned by Summer Electric, I think.
They
and,
do own a big chunk of that.
right.
island. Yeah.
So, and you find it harder to operate down on Fort Myers Beach? I mean, I heard that. Do you still have facilities for lifting the
no.
boats out and everything? And
We don't have a railway anymore here. I think the closest one is Tarpon Springs. But as far as getting our fuel and our supplies and stuff, those guys that are in the business, Trico Shrimp and Erickson's, are dedicated to it. They'll be
Are they?
there. They'll be there as long as possible.
Good.
right, oh, that's good.
And so anybody that wants to go purchase the shrimp, you can go, can't you, to
You go straight to the
Trico?
dock, I think, right?
Yeah,
To
you can-
Trico and Erickson, they sell to the public,
they,
correct?
they do. Yes.
So
So if you go down to Fort Myers Beach, before you go over the bridge, look to your left, the very last turning, head down there, and you can see the companies down there.
1300 Main Street.
1300
there we go.
Main Street,
He even
Fort
knows
Myers
the
Beach,
address.
Yeah. So
Where-
sorry, go on, Max.
Where are they distributing to from the dock? Are they mainly local?
They supply the local market, but all the excess shrimp go to Tampa to a processor. What he does is number one, he puts preservative on them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So get them before they get to Tampa.
And then he will peel them and devein them and package them for the supermarkets and such.
Gotcha.
So none of the shrimp that you buy here have preservatives on them.
No, we got
unless you go to the supermarket.
right.
Our shrimp are chemical free.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Okay.
Makes me want to go get some
Yeah.
today.
Hit up the U9s. They're amazing.
Yeah.
So, but you were saying that boat is actually a wooden boat that has a fiberglass skin put over it. And what's the story with that? They just don't make that type of boat anymore? They're just not...
They don't. This is a wooden boat, but a steel hull to be built now would be replacement cost around $2 million,
Wow.
$1.5 $2 million, and we're averaging $1.50 a pound for shrimp. So you'd have to catch a lot of shrimp to pay for
To
a meal.
pay for that bag. Yeah.
Really?
And plus
Yeah.
the cost of fuel.
Yeah, everything. The steel. It's hard to get good steel. It's just they're not building any new boats.
So, but you said you might be buying a new boat. You've owned boats and captained, haven't you? So this is the one
Just
you're
a
running
buddy
for a
yours.
friend.
I
Yeah,
guess you said you're doing a favor, which sounds like a really nice favor.
Yeah, well, it's a job also.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I'm always looking for a boat. I got to have a boat.
Yeah. What's your ideal boat? You prefer the 100-foot plus?
I do because there's more room and they're a better ride, in the rough weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trouble we're having now, well, I'm getting a little older myself, but you don't get beat up as much when you're offshore. We're spending 30 days out on the water.
It's a lot.
And that's a lot. It's hard on your body, and also the crews. We're having a hard time getting crews.
Really?
A bigger boat, demands a better and bigger crew.
Right.
So how many, like 100-foot, how many people would you have on
Well,
that?
there's still only 3 or 4 people.
Wow.
Right.
But
Harder to get because it's a longer term out.
Yeah, yeah.
A longer time out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you fishing year round or shrimping rather?
Yes, we fish year round.
Really?
We used to go to Texas every summer. One thing that Texas does in May and June, they close their waters. No shrimping, period.
So it's illegal. Is that why they close it? Or
They close it to let the shrimp grow,
Okay.
so they're a better marketable size.
Right.
Well, when they open it, typically on July 15th, it's a
Madhouse?
It's a madhouse. It's a heyday.
Yeah.
But we've been doing well in Tortugas, so we're not going to Texas anymore like we used to
Really?
go.
Do you think Florida should do the same thing, close, or you think we?
No, there's not a lot of pressure. I mean, we could never catch all the shrimp.
Right.
Florida Bay has been tremendous as far as putting out shrimp for us.
Right.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to your day in the life of a shrimper. You get up at 3, you
Yep.
go grab a handful of shrimp, throw it in,
Yeah.
and then fixing your nets, and then you're off to, I guess, you have to wait till it's dark to start.
We wait till it's dark. We put our nets in the water. Then we, scrub the boat, clean the boat, a few chores, and some people wait till that late to eat dinner. I don't like to.
Yeah.
You're talking 9, 10 o'clock now.
Right.
When it's dark. So around midnight, we pick up the first catch and dump them out, and the crew goes and sorts them out and
Is that hand sorting?
pick every one of them up by hand. And they bag them in a what I call an onion bag. It's a mesh
For a mesh net.
net, about 35 pounds, and they put them in that tank and freeze them.
Yep.
They store them down below, and then you're ready
Keep
to
going
do it
again.
Then you're ready to do it again.
So the boat, I'm presuming, is all air conditioned, yeah?
Oh, they're very nice boats. Now it's kind of akin to being in an apartment.
You're
Really? Yeah.
glamping now, right?
Right. We've got satellite television, direct TV.
Oh, okay.
We've got air conditioning. We've got hot water. Maybe the bigger boats carry 8,000 gallons of fresh water.
Really?
So you got all the water you want.
So
Right.
you're not skimping on water or anything?
No, it's not like the old days.
Do you miss the old days?
No. Give me more.
Right.
More luxuries.
Right.
More luxuries.
Massages.
Does
you
anyone,
want-
just a thought, does anyone ever come out to resupply you or anything like that? Do you have running boats that will come out and resupply?
We do. If we have a breakdown and need a part or something, we just call on the satellite phone and call our buddy, hey, you coming out next week? Bring me this part, bring me this hose, bring me this
Gotcha.
whatever.
What? And they'll run down on another shrimp boat, and they'll.
Yeah, they don't all come and go at the same time. We're staggered.
Gotcha.
Somebody's always coming.
Right.
Somebody's
Say,
always coming.
Bring
and
me
going.
my Amazon package. Can you get Amazon delivery out there?
Do you
Go
carry
ahead.
on?
Go on,
Oh,
Mike.
do you ever fill up early and have to come back in?
You do. You
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
That's got to be a good
And
feeling.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a good trip this past one. We didn't quite fill the boat, but we were very close.
Right. So
Yeah.
you're like, we're done. Come
Yep,
on.
yep.
Let's
We're
go.
done.
How many days did that take?
I think we were out 13 days.
Oh wow, so 5 days early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So when are you next heading out?
This week, sometime the end of the week.
So what determines moon and weather?
Yeah, not the weather. It's got to be. This is my motto. I don't go out into bad weather, but if I'm out there, I'll stay in
You're
it.
just
Okay, gotcha.
If the seas get around 10 feet, 10 foot seas, then we'll lay on the anchor and just ride it out till it calms off. Normally, it's only a couple of days. You know, we have the cold fronts that come.
Yeah.
They're predictable. The weather-wise, if we have a high pressure, a Bermuda high in
Right.
the Atlantic, it will blow out of the east and really make it bad for us. And you don't realize it on land because it's blowing out of the east.
Right.
It might be blowing 30 knots where we're at.
Oh, because it's got past the land and it's built up again.
That's
Yeah.
what we hate. We hate high pressure area.
Really.
And,
So you think your bad weather would come from the west, wouldn't you? As though it's.
Well, you'd think so,
think it
but
would
those
have
are,
more time to form. You know?
those are so predictable, though. We can see them coming, and we know how long they're going to last.
Right.
and you try
Yeah.
to avoid them or
We'll stay on anchor, or maybe go behind Key West if we have to.
gotcha. Just
Have
like
you ever
protection.
been caught out in a hurricane or anything like that?
Oh yeah,
And what do you do? Just batten down the hatches?
batten down the hatches and ride it out.
Right.
You've actually
my
been
God.
on the water during a hurricane.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Scared?
That must be scary.
Have you ever been scared?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I still get scared, but
What scares you the most?
we're sensible about it. We can see what's coming. We can predict it and act accordingly.
I mean, I know when we worked on cruise ships, I was talking to a captain once, and we were talking about the weather and stuff, and he was saying that ship, it's 80,000 tons, and he's like, yeah, we're steaming away from weather before it's even here. It's not even.
Yeah. We got modern weather prediction now.
Yeah.
So if worst comes to worst, you can duck in behind Stone Island, are you better off offshore? Are you better off anchoring up? You probably don't want to be at a dock, do you?
No, we'll go into Tampa Bay and anchor up, or go Charlotte Harbor and anchor up, behind Key West.
Oh, just anywhere where there's a natural bay.
Yeah, just to get out of the rough seas.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, Max?
Okay, I drew a blank. I had a question, I forgot it.
I have a question. Do you fish too, just for fun?
We do. We're not allowed to have fish on the boat.
Okay.
Only a daily bag limit.
Okay.
So
Like a residential fisher. Yeah.
yeah, if we have a license. Most of the guys that go out on boats don't even bother to get a license.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the thing about it, if I want to fish, I'll drop a line in the water. If I don't have a fish in 30 seconds, I'll wait and go the next day or the next day or the next day.
Well, because the shrimp stirred up at the bottom, bring in everything.
Well, we got obstructions or rock piles or something close by where we can go fish.
Oh, gotcha.
Gotcha.
But it's no emergency because we're going to be there for a while.
Are you eating the fish if you catch it?
We do eat fish occasionally.
Do you put shrimp on the hook to catch the fish?
Oh yeah.
Funny.
Shrimp are like rice.
They're
me,
multi
they're-
talented, I guess.
They're not worth much to me, so I'll sacrifice them.
Oh my God.
Where are you going on your next trip?
We're going to the Dry Tortugas.
Okay.
Right off of Key West.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a very good, productive area for us. Seems to be getting better all the time, and if I leave the dock and I start off Fort Myers Beach or Naples or Marco or Boca Grande, I got a chance of catching shrimp. If I go to the Dry Tortugas, I'm almost guaranteed.
So
Almost.
do you even drop nets on your way down or no?
We do.
You do?
We'll look at a place,
Do like
spot,
a test thing.
a little test. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know, what's the craziest thing besides a shrimp? What have you caught? Any treasure or anything?
I knew you were going to ask me this.
I know you said you caught your hat the other day in a lake.
We'll catch a hat once in a while, but I haven't personally. But I got a friend of mine that caught a treasure ship with $2 million worth of silver on it.
Really?
He hung his nets up on it and picked them up and thought they were rocks, shaking the rocks out, and they fell apart and they were silver coins.
No way.
Yeah. Was he allowed to keep them?
They did. They did salvage it. They went and went to shore. He had the numbers for it. They went and they
kept it quiet.
they staked a claim. They got some divers to go out, and they found out all about the ship. It was a Army payroll that was coming. They were getting the silver in South America somewhere.
No way.
From when? From what era?
I'm not sure which war, but one of the wars when they were paying the soldiers, and that was a payroll
boat.
And a payroll boat, and it sunk during a hurricane.
Wow.
Whereabouts was it roughly?
It was right off the Mississippi.
Did he give up shrimping after that?
No.
Probably bought himself a nice new shiny boat.
No, he's still shrimping as far as I know.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, we catch stuff once in a while that's interesting.
I want to know, do you ever catch Janonias?
Janonias, we used to catch a lot of. When I was shrimping back in my early days, I used to bring my wife 5-gallon buckets of shells.
You did?
Janonias, lions, paws, everything.
Will you bring some to me?
Well, you know what? She threw them in her flower beds.
I'm going to come to your house. Where do you live? I'm coming to your house.
She just takes them and throws them out with the flower bushes. And
really? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we used to catch a lot of shells. Not so much anymore.
Huh.
Why is that? Just because of technology is changing, or?
Well, now we have these excluders in the nets, and it kicks it all out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But
well, that's fascinating.
Yeah. So do you have children? You said you're married.
I do. I have 3 boys.
Not into.
Are they shrimping?
Not the first one of them are interested in it. One's in the Coast Guard. He loves it.
Where's he stationed?
Right. He was in Clearwater for 5 years. He flies in the planes.
Very cool.
Search and rescue.
Wow.
He's a flight engineer. But they just transferred him to Mobile.
I
got another one that's in the construction management, big construction company here, and the other one's in home repair company.
Gotcha. Sounds like they're doing good.
They're all good.
They've obviously been on the boat with you.
Though my oldest son used to go. He wasn't crazy about it. He just liked to go hang out with me.
Yeah.
The one that's in the Coast Guard went for one day. We went to Boca Grande, and he called the Kelly boys.
Did he?
And had them come pick him up.
No way.
and bring him to shore.
Was he getting seasick or something?
He made one day shrimping. That was his career.
And now he's in the Coast Guard.
Yeah,
which is funny.
But not a Coast Guard boat.
Right. He's fine.
And the other one's never been.
Never been.
He's never been.
Has no interest in it. No.
How about your wife? Has she ever been?
She used to go a lot. Before we had kids.
Right.
She went a lot on the boat with me.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Do you ever get seasick?
No.
Like, does any of the crew ever get seasick?
They do.
Yeah.
Any remedies
You're
for
over
seasickness?
Yeah, palm tree.
What does that mean?
You see a palm tree, you'll be well in just a minute.
You're close to land.
You're close to land. That'll kill you.
Anyway, so Laurie and I went on a tour down on and toured the shrimp.
It was through the Otsego Bay Foundation, or
correct.
Is that what it is? Right.
So if you go down under the bridge near Dock Fords, there's right on the corner building. There's a charitable organisation that will do, or a non-for-profit that will do tours on the shrimp boat. So thoroughly recommend it. Not on the boats, but all around the dock area.
They'll take you to Trico.
Yeah, the working waterfront.
Yeah,
Right.
and definitely recommend that.
Definitely recommend that.
It's really cool. They
We've
do a
lived
nice
here
tour
23 years, and we had never done it.
and we did it
loved
recently. And they even take you into the if you're into Mechanical stuff, we went into the marina hardware store, which we'd never been to.
I love that hardware store.
And it's so cool because it's got commercial stuff. And actually, I bought some chemicals on there for cleaning and stuff because I'm like, if these guys use it, it must be good. So there's only a select amount of chemicals. I'm like, they must use them all the time. So I picked up some of those stuff. And then if you can also buy the shrimp down there as well.
You can.
Yep.
So
Erickson, Jensen, or Trico.
Or Trico.
Okay. And they used to have a food stand down there. There was a lady with a food stand.
Is.
Yeah.
So you can actually go.
She's got great food.
Right.
Yeah, really good.
And then they end the tour with you get some shrimp. You get a tester of shrimp. So it was great.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? What's your favorite shrimp store?
What do you mean, favorite?
Trico or?
Oh, you can't say that. You sound about them.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
No,
It's like picking your favorite child.
yeah, exactly.
No, you can't say that.
Yeah, I can't burn any of those bridges.
No, absolutely
Go down
not.
and check them both out. Anyway, Max has got some trivia for us.
Shrimp-based trivia.
Okay.
Blaine,
So
I think you're going to win.
It might be, yes. So you're going to write your answer down on there, or scribble it if it's anything like me.
Yeah. And so we'll all write down the questions and we'll turn them over.
Not the
and
questions, the answers.
The answer. Yeah, don't write down the question. That might be a waste of time. Okay. First question. Shrimp are ranked by a sizing guide starting at small, medium, large, then jumbo. What is the largest size of shrimp?
So you were talking like a number thing?
Not a number, a name.
What
What comes after jumbo?
Oh.
And there may be one even after that.
I can't spell,
I can't either.
but I know. But I do think
But
I
you
know what
do?
it is.
I definitely did not spell that right, and I know I'm not even right. So,
Bigger than jumbo.
Nick,
Well-
are you changing your
Well, only
answer?
because you said it's a word. I thought it was a technical term. I put U9s or colossal.
I put gigantic.
Gigantic?
Colossal.
Colossal. Colossal is the correct answer.
Did you know that, Nick?
I came up with it, so I guess so. What is the how many to the pound in colossal?
Wait.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Sorry. No.
That's the next question. Colossal shrimp start at U what? U being, can you explain what the U numbering system means? Under
Yeah. Say under 15, under 20.
per pound.
Per pound.
Per pound.
I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Gosh,
So
I'm learning
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
if my
stuff.
mic's on. Is my mic on?
Yeah, it is. You
Yeah,
just
you
turned
just
away
weren't,
from it.
Yeah, you weren't turning. Yeah, you
Okay.
turned away from it. So U means under. Okay.
Colossal being what?
So we
Yeah,
need
what-
how many U?
What U is colossal?
where does it start?
I
Where,
think I
what is
might have
the
given
what is the
this one
difference
away.
between jumbo and colossal?
Oh gosh. Okay.
For example,
Don't know.
small is U71, U90. Does that sound about right?
Sounds
That's
good to
almost
me.
microscopic. That's small.
I put U6. Nick, what'd you put?
I put U9.
Is it U9?
U9?
What's-
Okay, I believe you. U9 is the answer.
What did you really had?
I had U12. Is
U12
can
is
start it can go or
U12 is smaller than U9.
yeah. I had the threshold being at U12.
So maybe
So
it's
U9 is the biggest
so
of the
maybe
big.
it's U12 to U9.
Is colossal.
I don't
Does that
know.
sound about right? Yeah.
Is there
So
anything,
up to U9, but okay.
is there anything below or above U9? I guess.
No,
He said that's where they die.
Oh, that's when they're gone.
Old age.
You're right.
Yeah.
The shrimp old age home.
All right.
So
Next
what's
que-
it? Hold on. I think you guys are tied.
Yes, you were both tied.
2 points. 2 points. I've got the big goose egg.
Yep. All right.
Dang.
This is a fine thing.
This is a question I don't think maybe no one will get, but we'll see. What country is the largest exporter of shrimp to the United States? Where do we get most of our shrimp from?
Do I remember this from the tour?
I think the
they
U.S.
talked
also
about it.
may be the largest consumer of shrimp. Based on some research,
Really?
surface
Some
level
deep-
research.
Deep Googling.
No.
All right, we'll let Blaine go first.
I will tell you,
Oh, yeah.
there's 7 countries that import shrimp, major countries, and they're all about on the equator. So you got China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Ecuador.
And they're all
Yeah, they're all garbage. Don't
garbage.
Eat,
You're not eating.
do not eat them.
Yeah.
All out in Asia.
Oh,
All right.
Vietnam?
China, Vietnam.
Okay.
I went Vietnam.
I've got a goose egg on that one then because I put Philippines.
According to my research, it is India is the largest.
No way.
But I did see those names on the list that you listed. So,
All right.
but it is India is the largest importer.
Well, I'm sure it's got part of its country on the equator.
Yeah, during that tour, they talked about, well, they're farmed and they have like cages and then they like.
Shrimp are very susceptible to disease and they can lose a whole farm overnight.
Really?
So they pump them full of antibiotics.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. And also in these farms, the water condition is quality is terrible.
They did say that,
And
that they're just
they-
in their own excrement and. just-
Chicken excrement, they feed them. And
right.
these other countries, Canada, Europe, whatever, will reject a shipload of them. The United States says, bring them in.
No way.
Yeah.
I know after we went on that
They-
tour, I'm
they-
like, I'm never eating shrimp from.
Because our FDA only spot checks them. They don't check every batch of shrimp that comes in. They could be slap full of bacteria, and we'll still. United States will still take them.
We haven't eaten a non-Florida shrimp since
we did that tour.
Since we did that tour, so and they do definitely taste better for sure.
All right. Okay, we have one more, Max.
Okay.
So we're still 2-0-2. Is this the tiebreaker? I guess I have no chance of
Yes.
winning.
I hope I don't get beat.
I hope
I'm
you
supposed,
know
to,
well.
I'm supposed to know this.
Okay, the largest shrimp consumer per capita. So the United States is the largest shrimp consumer in general, but based on population.
Who eats the most shrimp?
Yeah, what
country?
Per person, yeah.
Or what person eats the most shrimp?
Yeah, what individual person?
This is Steve. What country eats the most shrimp?
Yeah. It's an Asian country. I'll
it's
give
an
you that.
Asian
I'll give
country.
you that. An Asian country that eats the most shrimp per person.
So clueless on this. What are you drawing a picture over there, Nick?
Oh,
Wow, that's lots of
I
concentration.
did. Yeah, it was. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go with
Well, show us your answer.
China.
I put China. What'd you put, Blaine?
Vietnam.
Japan.
No!
Japan.
Oh, Sushi World. Oh, we should have known that.
Yeah, exactly. Sushi World. Yeah, they eat a lot of seafood. So also, China is the biggest population in the world, so it'd be hard for them to be the biggest consumer
Yeah,
per
I did.
capita.
That's why I was hesitant.
That's why you're happy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it was. A
That's all the
tie.
questions. Yeah, that's all the questions.
All
And
right.
the most important thing is that we beat Laurie because she does cheat.
You get to ring the bell, Blaine. That's your prize.
A big honor. A big honor.
Big on that. There we go. Oh, thank you very much. This has been a long time, so I'm going to make the most of it. Thank you.
Okay, good. Wow. Can we do episode 2? There's
Yeah.
so much we haven't talked about, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
And
Well,
this was
check
amazing.
out the blog post related to this podcast because we're going to do a trip on not actually out at sea. We might be getting picked up after an hour.
A day.
But
Right.
we're going to be doing some footage on the boat and taking some pictures. So check that out for sure.
Yeah. You're more than welcome. Come down and
They
check
need
it out.
some, right.
Yeah,
They're going to
fantastic.
take you out for 18 days. Will you take them for 18 days?
There's a limit to everything, Laurie.
I'll pay you to take them with you.
I'll tell you like I tell the rest of them. I'm not bringing you back. You're stuck there.
Okay. I like it.
All right. Well,
Sounds
thanks
good
for
to
Dan
me.
Kelly for connecting us
Right?
and.
Those are great guys. them
Yeah,
Kelly
the
boys.
Kelly brothers are awesome.
They
Yeah,
are.
really,
They
really
are.
cool.
Well, you got to tell everybody who the Kelly brothers are now that you mentioned
we
the
talked about it earlier.
We talked about it earlier. Kelly Brothers did the construction on every major project. Key West, down at Key West on Mallory Pier, the Sanibel Causeway Bridge, every big marine project there is.
Bridges, water
Bridges,
control structures.
yeah.
They do it all, and they are the best at it.
Right.
They are the best, yeah. So
And nice guys, too.
yeah, nice
And
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you. And
I enjoyed it. I could probably talk for another couple hours.
there we go.
Okay. Part 2
Awesome.
will be
Part
coming.
2, yeah, awesome. Thanks very much. Okay, and a quick shout out to our supporters. Without our supporters, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So a big thank you to Bailey's General Store, Doc Ford's Rum Bar and Grill, Spoondrift Island Bowls, Sanibel Carts, GatorBites Tail and Ale, 3 Crafty Ladies, Suncatchers Dream, Kingfisher Vacation Rentals, Priscilla's of Sanibel, and Coco y Cabana. Thanks very much, guys. See you on the next one.